If you've opened Power BI, seen the word DAX, and immediately clicked away, that is exactly what this video is going to fix. DAX is not a programming language. It is not something only developers use. It's the formula system inside Power BI. And once you understand about 4 or 5 of the core ones, everything in the tool starts to make sense. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the DAX formulas that I use most step by step with real data. And I'm going to explain what each one actually does before we write it. Stay to the end because the calculate function is the one that most beginners avoid, and it's the only one that unlocks everything else. Hey, I'm Arlen, and welcome to Data with Arlen. In this video, we'll be covering sum, average, calculate, and divide. 4 formulas, real results. Let's get started. Okay, I am in Power BI desktop with our simple sample data already loaded. The table is DAX beginners sales. It's 48 rows of orders across 3 months, 4 regions, and 4 products. Now each row has an order ID, a month, a region, a product, unit sold, the unit price, and sales total. It's simple and real. This is the kind of export that you would pull from a CRM or finance system. So now we are in the report view currently. And of course, you'll see in the fields pane here under the data, all of the columns that we just discussed. It's one table, all of these real columns. And now every formula that we're going to write is going to work on this data. So keep in mind, as you're proceeding forward in your quest to learn data analytics, if you're not sure what path from here to your first data analyst job actually is going to be the right path for you, I've put together a free data analyst career roadmap, every step in order. So grab it. It's free. Link is in the description. Now, we're going to go into the first DAX formula, and that is sum. Now, this is the one you'll probably write in almost every Power BI report you ever build. And I think it's something that I know I've done in almost every report I've built. So it's definitely typical. So typically, instead of summing a static column the way Excel does, a DAX measure is going to use sum, which respects every filter on the page. So when somebody clicks region slicer, the total updates, that's really the key difference. So what I'm going to do to go ahead and create a DAX, you go ahead and click on new measure, and you're going to see a formula bar appear at the top. You're going to want to go ahead and put in the measure. I've already copied it from other screen. It's total sales. And really, I am taking the sum of the sales column, and that's it. Once you got it in there, you go ahead and click the checkbox or hit enter, and that adds the measure. You'll see it here to the right. Now, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and see this measure in action. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a card visual from the build section. This is a typical like KPI card that you would use to show like stat. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click on total sales. And so there we have it. We see the total sales, 194.46K. Of course, you can format this if you like. You can change it. You can remove the decimals. If I wanted to, I could click on this. Right now it's set to auto. If I wanted to format it to currency, I can do that. I can go ahead and remove the decimals. And there you have it, 194K. You have a dollar sign. And that's what we can do. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next formula, and that's going to be average. Average, similarly to sum, it's a different function, but you would use this when you want the typical value per row, the average order value, average units per order, average price. It's just a quick gut check. That's really the number managers often ask for. So you want to make sure you have this down. So again, we're going to go ahead and add a measure. I've copied it over from another screen, and I'm going to click on new measure. We get the formula box at the top. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. And as you see, we've given it a name And we're just using the average function. And then you just specify which column you want to take the average from. Go ahead and click the checkbox or submit. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and add a KPI card, select average order, and there we have it. Average order is 4.05K. And, you know, this one we'll just leave. We may not want to format this one, but you can. You've seen how to format that previously. You know, the average order value is really what a typical order is worth. So different from the total and different from the count, it's exactly what you would need when someone asks, okay, what does an average deal look like? So that's basically what this is. All right, now on to the third formula, and that is calculate. Now this is one most beginners skip, and it is one that separates people who can write useful measures from people who just drag formulas and columns. Calculate does one thing. It evaluates a number, actually a formula inside a specific filter you define. So you're telling Power BI to calculate this total, but only for this group. So here's an example, and I'm going to go ahead and create this in a second, but here's an example. Let's say I want to see East region sales specifically, regardless of what slicers are going on the page. And so with Calculate, I can hard code that filter inside the measure itself. So we're going to go ahead and create a new measure. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. We're looking at East sales, and so you see it's calculate the sum of the sales column over the region of the East region. So this is the sum of the sales for the East region, and that's essentially what it is. It's the calculate function wraps around just the same as sum does. We already know. The second argument is really just the filter. We're looking at the sales for the East. The East is the filter. And this is the pattern. Calculate, then the formula, then the condition. You can layer multiple conditions, use a list of values, or even use pre-built filter functions. But that a two-part structure is really always the same. But two-part structure just that we see here. So we're going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to go ahead and, just like we did before, add a card, drag this over, and I am going to click on the East sales. There we go. There we have it. The East sales is 40.53K, and that is the East sales. So let's say we put a slicer on the page for the month. I'm going to go ahead and create a slicer. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and get this slicer added here. And I'm going to select month. There we have it. And so if I select any of the months, you will see it's going to respect just the East sales for every month. So it's basically locking it in for that specific month. Very powerful feature, and definitely something I suggest that you can use when you are using DAX formulas. Okay, and now on to our last formula, and that is the divide. So anytime you divide two numbers in DAX, you have the risk, if the denominator is ever 0, the formula will break and you get an error on your report. But divide solves that. It takes 3 arguments: the numerator, the denominator, and what to return when the denominator is 0. Usually you pass 0 or leave it blank, and the measure shows 0 instead of crashing. So to go ahead and create that, we're going to go ahead and click on new measure. We're going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to paste it in here. And you see we're dividing the sales by the number of units, the sum of the number of units. And if the denominator is ever 0, we're just going to display 0. So we just put comma 0. But if you wanted to put something else, you could do that. It's typical to put just 0. So it's the total revenue divided by total units. It's returning 0 if there's ever nothing to divide by. And in practice, this is how every ratio measure should be written in Power BI. And because this is done, this is how it works. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to add this into a card. So we'll go ahead and create a KPI card. All right. And I'm going to plug this in here now. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to select the sales per unit. So we'll go ahead and click on sales per unit. And then there you have it. So we have the result of that divide. It's 509. And once we've got this in place, you'll always be able to use the divide. You'll never have an error because your denominator is 0 and it crashes out. So that's the beauty of using divide instead of using the slash. And that's DAX for complete beginners. These are 4 basic formulas that cover most of what you'll write in your first year of Power BI. Sum for totals, average for typical values, calculate for filtered calculations, and divide for safe ratios. So every more complete DAX formulas that you'll never need to learn is really built on top of these 3 patterns. It's not an oversimplification. This is generally how the language works. So if you apply this today, you'll be able to open up your data in Power BI and write real measures instead of relying on auto aggregations. So that's the real skill, and I have it. Now, if this video has helped you, and I genuinely hope it did, hitting subscribe is the one thing that makes the biggest difference for this channel right now. We are building the data crew from ground up. And if you're here, you're already a part of it. Every subscriber tells YouTube that this content is worth showing to more people who need it. It is completely free. It just takes a second, and I promise you that I will never waste your time. So now be sure to check out the next video. That will be a great next addition to your learning Power BI in your quest to become a data analyst. So click on the link on the screen, and I'll see you in the next video.